parent came from Mauritius. I am a firm believer of religious tolerance and peace. In Buddhism today, there is a problem that is arising. We are losing our image of peace that has been there for ages and in the whole world. Media is portraying us as being violent, as being a violent religion, and we can sometimes see religious leaders from other religions and even state leaders begging our Buddhist people and our Buddhist leaders to stop being violent. This is not our true image. 99% of the millions of Buddhists in this world is peaceful. And this is what we have to show. Today, I am going to meet a very young but uprising Buddhist activist, a young Buddhist monk who has done a lot and has learned a lot on religious tolerance and how to lead interfaith dialogues. Today, we're going to meet Venerable Mandala, who is a young, uprising, upcoming interfaith dialogue Buddhist monk. He will share with us his thoughts on Buddhism, peace, and interfaith or religious tolerance. Venerable, welcome.
Thank you so much, Venerable. Before we start for now, we want to pay respect to the Buddhas together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mandala. I am Theravada Buddhist monk. I come from Myanmar, especially I lived in Mandalay before I moved to the Colombo, Sri Lanka. Now I'm studying at the Kalinga University, postgraduate Pali and Buddhist study. This year I got the precious chance to introduce about the Buddhist peace and tolerance with the Venerable mind Venerable and from what?
From Mauritius?
From Mauritius.
Africa.
Yeah. I am really appreciate the meeting with her to do dialogue together. And actually, I am not, a scholar doing peace and tolerance. I am, engaged in the peace from Buddhist perspective, gradually and working on this area.
So, Venerable, I would like to know a little bit more about your background. How is it that you became a monk, a Buddhist monk? Can you tell us more?
When I was 10 years old, I became novice. I was born in second division and in Mimu Township, Tizang village. Now, my village is not too big. My family is not so poor, so rich. Actually, I can say a little bit poor family I came from. There was the other religious faith in my village, in my community, and then I believe my own Buddhist faith practice. When I was 10 years, actually I don't have my own decisions. I saw Buddhist monks and Buddhist novices every day, and also I learned Buddhist ethics based how to live the way of philosophy. Actually, I don't understand everything, but I learned a lot in that monastery. Then I want to be novice. Then I moved to the other cities to learn more and more about Buddhism, called the other monastery. And then I moved to Mandalay, and I study Buddhist perspective more deeper and deeper. When I was 21 years, I became Buddhist monk. I ordained higher ordination, and then I passed the same, Buddhist master celebrated the Sangha Council in Myanmar, and also still I trying to engage in some sort of interreligious work and teaching the youth in my area, and also my locally engaging interreligious, intercultural working in my society. That is what I did in my life. Very, very short work.
So it is when you came to the city that you started to hear about other religions and other problems that's happening in the world regarding Buddhism and other religions. Can you tell us what is the particular incident maybe that made you more aware of this?
When I started learning English, I met one Catholic nun from Ireland. She taught, in English in a different monastery. Actually, she's quite good. And one day, she invited me and my friends to come and visit her house at the church in Mandalay. And in her house, in the building, there was the Buddha statue, And also she said that we practice taking meditation every day, every morning, every night. And also she gave respect to me. Then I got, shocking how they can practice their Buddha's teachings, and also how they accept the Buddha's, the practice for the peace. There must be something, the different sense they call all Buddhism. And then she introduced her own religious faith, Christian and Catholic. And also I go through by the dialogue to understand about the other faith, and also the different religious culture and tradition, and also sometimes when they invite us for the Christian ceremony, like the Christmas, they invite us, and also they donate the foods or something like that. So, sometimes I got understanding interreligious sense. So that's why I learned the interreligious debate from an English teacher. They come from Ireland. That's my past step for the interreligious program.
Wow, I think that's really great that you had this experience. You saw that other religions can also respect our own religion. In fact, this is a teaching of the Buddha in the Kuttadanta Sutta. We learn about Kuttadanta, the Vedic leader who had, I think, 300 monks following him, or 300 Brahmins following him, who went to listen to the Buddha. And at the end of the sutta, it says Kuttadanta understood the truth from the Buddha, but he did not convert, and in fact invited the Buddha to his sacrificial pit to share a meal, and the Buddha accepted. So in all this, what you're saying to me is exactly what we too should be practicing. We go and learn from other religions what they are doing, but we should also invite others to come and see and understand what we are doing. Now, I am going to ask you another question. Was your training, Venerable, only in Mandalay with the Catholic group, or did you have other interreligious training, interreligious dialogue training?
Before I insist my initiative involving in the interreligious, locally, internationally interreligious program, I want to say something about why I need to do some interreligious program. In the interreligious program in Myanmar, we have 135 ethnic groups living together. There's different culture, different religion, different languages there, multicultural, multi-religions there, and there was the problem. So many problems are there because of the differences. Then one I see that the news, newspaper or online media or social media, then I got an idea. So for the Buddhist leader, for the peace practitioner, and we should engage in some sort of their, activities or program from Buddhist perspective. Then I engaged locally and also stay internationally. And outside 2015, KIC Intelligence and Intercultural Organization based in Vienna, Austria, and 2015, 2016, 2016 to 2017, and also another organizations called AKW, A Common War Among the Youth, come from different cultures, different religions. There we gather 100 youth at the first time. We promote peace and harmony among the different religions, different culture, different ethnicities to understand among acts between acts. It's also very important. And also I got scholarship program from North Star Identity Foundation in Vatican City. I study at the St. Thomas Aquinas University for the 1 semester. It's a really good. I study interreligious, some sort of subject like introduction to the world religion. In that subject, in that course, I learned the introduction to the Christian, Islam, and Shinto, Tao, and Buddhism, the Hinduism. The Buddhism also Theravada tradition, the Mahayana tradition. I learned some, the kinds of the religious faith, and came from the professor of the university, Christian priest. It was really nice. And also another subject is quite interesting, called Christ Beyond the Church. How the other faith or the religious leaders see to the Christian or Jesus. And also we should learn, we should have the kinds of course in our university. That's still what I learned. I did some other formally interreligious program. And 2016, I got invitations from Poland, cuisines, the small cities, the local and their high school, the young. I did some presentations to introduction to the Burmese Buddhist culture. That's also quite good, sharing my own belief and culture. While I studied in the Roma, I met so many Christian priests, and one of my favorite priests, Father John Lawson, he invited me to come and share about the Buddhist monk lives and what is the differences the Christian priest and Buddhist monk like. I did some presentation and interreligious dialogue, and also another interreligious program celebrated in Roma. I did so many things locally, nationally, internationally involving. Just only one particular purpose is to get peace and harmony among and between acts. It's very important. That's why I'm doing interreligious program.
Venerable, there is one word that comes up to my mind and which is often used. It's dialogue. What is dialogue?
What I understand dialogue, the meaning is it's a deep down proponent. What I understand the dialogue is that it's not debate. It's not normal conversations.
What's the difference between dialogue and debate then?
Debate is the convincing the other people what you believe, and also you try to win the other people. And dialogue is between acts. We are looking for the one solution. There is no one win-lose solution. There must be one win-win solution. And also we never trying to convince the other people. We are trying to solve the same problem and the same solution.
Mm-hmm. So from what I understand, then dialogue is not debate. Debate is you are trying to convince the other that you are right, and finally you want to come out the winner. Mm-hmm. Whereas dialogue is to understand each other's point of view and see that each side wins.
Yeah.
Yes?
And also stay in dialogue at the place is very important. Mm-hmm. When we choose the particular place, for example, Buddhist, Christian, Islam, and Hindu dialogue, not to do in the church, not to do in the mosques, not to do in the monastery, not to do in the Hindu temple. We should choose the safe space, the container. It means a safe space, physically, emotionally, religiously, free to talk each other. And another important point is the active listening. When we talk each other, sometimes it's not ready yet to listen what they talk to us. So we have to listen with the whole heart, deep down, like a conviction is. The conviction is very important for the dialogue. That is what I understand.
Yes. Oh, that's true. You're right. And I think we've got training for that from the very beginning. Buddha has always talked about loving kindness, compassion. So really, maybe I think one of the secret of the way we are known for peace is because we have been trained in loving kindness and compassion, and to hear with our heart, and that's what we must not lose. Yes, modern ways maybe in modern nowadays education we do not focus enough on that loving kindness and compassion, listening to others with our open heart. And I must go back to what you've just said. We must also go in a neutral place where all of us feel safe to open our heart.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. What else have you learned from these all these meetings? For example, what about other religions? What did you learn about them? Are they similar to ours? Do they have, for example, something like Paticca Samuppada?
Like what I understand in the dialogue, they are demanding and they're showing their feeling, and also we try to find the solution. Then when they show their particular outside the conflict, then I see the inner conflict involving in the particular conflict. That's what we call inner conflict and outer conflict. Inner conflict means we personally, individually, we have a greedy hatred and delusion. It's a fire, it's a poison. The fire is burning down the outside the economic, politics, and education, the other subject area, and they are focusing to demand, to win or to convince the other people. Actually, what I understand is in that dialogue we focus with loving kindness, sympathy, and also still there was so many structure, and also still different people and different suffering, and also still we have a different suffering, different cause of suffering, and also still we have the same solution to get peace. It's also Buddha's teaching for noble truth, and this is the very deep down the Buddha's teachings focusing on the peace, and also the dependent origination that you mentioned, called the cause and effect. Then what I understand is that even the one, the case, the one problem, the conflict involving different causes. For example, when we grab the orange, let me see the orange. The orange, like you see still in my hand with your image. Orange come from different particular area, and also still carrying the taxi driver or maybe the bus driver, and also shop owner and selling and carrying. It's come from the orange plant. The orange also still come from the orange tree. The orange tree cannot survive without air and water and earth. It's different causes to become the orange, and also the tar, and also the carry to become in my hand before I eat. I need to realize that there are so many causes.
Right.
And then when you see there's so many causes that involving so many people, a different perspective.
True.
Like that, the dependent origination also still different causes, and also still different solution. Then when we see the different causes, I cannot say who is bad, who is right, who is wrong, who is right, who is good, who is bad. We are evolving in this group. Which part do you want to evolve? That's the Buddha says. Two people. One people has a good heart. Then the one who wants to create the world better and better. The one who has a bad heart, bad mindset, emotion, want to destroy the other people. And also he or she has a himself. It's also part of dependent originations. The one we learn in the conflict or peace, these are involving independence. It's not a dependent origination. It's also still involving each other. That's interdependence. Yes, that's true.
Yes. Right. I think it is also important that what you mentioned about intra or intra, yes, inside ourselves, our suffering, our wishes, all this that comes up inside ourselves, which influence the outer, right? So since it is mostly our leaders, even ourselves as leaders, as religious leaders, it seems to me then that it is very, very important that we check our own inner feelings and emotions, and that we learn to control ourselves from what you were saying, because this is what will portray outside. So what anyone is portraying outside, or what our leaders are portraying outside, is actually what he or she is feeling inside. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's true.
Okay, so this needs a lot of self-control.
That's very important. It's also we Buddhists encourage morality.
Yes.
And morality and the concentration. The morality part, what we are focusing on the Panchasila,
Yes.
and the five precepts. The five precepts, when we reflect the five precepts, not just only not to kill, by avoiding killing, I am take care, and also I am take care of the other. I have a compassion, and also by having compassion myself, I peace and tranquility, and also I take care of your own rights, you know, and also the other that are the five precepts, the same, and also whatever we do, we are coming back, Let me say that one of the Buddhas said that no one has a never relative in father or mother. We believe the rebirth saga, and maybe the different life and previous life, you might be my mother or my father, my relative. By killing someone, and also he or she also might be my parents and my father, mother, relative. And also I am killing the one what we love.
Yes.
It's also action, reactions. Not just only killing the other people, it's also harming myself.
Yes. Very true, very true. And that's why the Buddha was very careful to teach us that to give us that teaching. But we have to acknowledge that unfortunately, in this world at the moment, there is a lot of conflicts.
Yeah, that's true.
And some of these conflicts, even if we have learned not to kill, not to hurt others, but how do we do, Venerable, when others are hurting us and hurting our family, killing our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers? What do we do? Do we just sit back and say, oh?
And when you say the harming the other people, also what I understand is that their great patience, their kandi, is very important. One of the sutras, Buddhas encourage Puna, and also to be patient. Even someone hurt you, killed you, what will you do? And also he said that he would compassionate the other people. Even if he hurt me, he didn't kill me. Even if he killed me, okay, we will also still were dying one day. It's just for the practitioner, but not practitioner just for the ordinary people. And also the patients, they're very important. But not just only we say the patients to run away to accept the killing. We don't say like that. We need just from the political point of view. We have a government and also the protection. The protections, they're very important. Without protections, they're killing the other people. How we can get peace inside? We need the protections from the government, justice, equality, equanimity to freely to live peacefully in our society. That's a very important point. But we have to understand the other people and also still why they are killing, and not just only we oversimplify the other people, not judge altogether. We have to know who is the killer, what he believes. But the belief is the belief, religions, the followers are follower. The follower, even in Buddhist, they are full of greedy, hatred, and delusion. At the moment, the guy is the bad person. Someone who feel loving kindness, sympathy, equanimity for severely wholesome deeds. Then at the moment, he or she is a good person. The good people create the bad, or bad people destroy the other people. It's not regarding with the religion. But actually, I want to encourage the people, whatever you believe, whatever you follow, but we have to create a better, more peaceful society. By hurting, by blaming, by condemning the other people, you are not glorifying, you are not promoting your own religion. You are harming your own religion. You are destroying your own faith. That's still one part. But for the Buddhist perspective, what I understand is that we should live peacefully, just the only mindset, and also the mind society, mind community. And inside the peace and outside the economic education, politics and media, all should be sitting both sides. It's me, but seeing two eyes, not just only one side. Some people, they are educated persons, but they see on their own side, what they love, who they love. But they don't want to see the other people. They don't want to listen the other words. And also still some people, they don't have the kinds of the wisdom, the conviction. If we say the compassion is one eye, wisdom must be the other eye. If we love the other people, we should see, we should listen still with the two eye, two ear. We should have a big ear, big eye, but we should have one small mouth. Don't talk too much. If it is good, talk loud and clear. To listen, to share what you believe, that must be good. It's very important, even you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist, whatever you are. That's what I want to encourage to you.
Venerable, what I've heard here is very important. I will pick up one first point that you said. You've talked about protection. You've talked about security. So I would like to point out that yes, what you're saying is right, and in fact in the Chakravarti Sihananda Sutta, the Buddha said that leaders must protect their people. They must create security. But it is not by killing, it is by law, by giving knowledge, by giving Dhamma, by listening to the others, to other religious leaders, hear what they have to say, make them also understand as a leader, as a Buddhist leader, as a state leader, what is your point of view. That's the most important. It's not to use the stick or to punish through violence. It is through law and knowledge. This is what I think we Buddhists must remember. And in this new world, in this new context where we are living, if we have to make new laws, we have to do it so as to protect our people, protect others also from getting hurt. I've heard you, and I think those following us, I also heard you about how we should be careful, we should be patient, we should hear the other side. There is not only our viewpoint, this is all that the Buddha taught us. What else has the Buddha taught us that we can teach the world or share with the world to show that Buddhism is a religion of peace?
The Buddhists always encourage, not to discriminate, not to harm the other people, and also even political point of view, even economic point of view, even the other perspectives, they also should have a justice, not bias, not judgments, unfairly. The discriminations, the judgments, the bias is too bad. Whatever you decided, even political point of view, even economic point of view, you have to think about long term, not just only short term, not just only one side. You have to think about two sides, and also still whatever you see, we have to understand clearly without bias, without judgments, and also still before you solve the problem, you need a great compassion. And then when you are involving solving the problem, you have to recognize your own loving kindness to love the other people the same way. When you finished your, solving the problem, you don't need to looking for any gratitude to the solution. It means equanimity, equity, something like that. So that is still what we understand for suffering. And Buddhist perspective is still very clear. Don't looking for too much, even your dignity, your honor, and that's impermanent everything. Just we are involved in this particular conflict, in the particular war, everything, whatever it is, there must be, something unfair situation. Then Buddhists encourage economic or political, whatever it is, we need justice, and also we need a clear vision on this issue called right understanding. Right? Even right understanding. If we don't have a right understanding, there must not have a right thought, right goal, ambition, and some final solution. Right thought is still very important. It's a goal. If you don't have a clear goal, you cannot speak right way, and also you cannot walk right words, right compassion, right speech, right understanding is still very important to get the final or to finish their conflict, to get peace. Even the Buddhists understand the super mundane level, but mundane level, the society also needs their noble eightfold part. The noble eightfold part is still very important. Whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever you speak, it should be right way, not wrong way. It should be both sides. It must be the true side, not only what you believe, what you want to listen to. That's very important. If we practice noble eightfold path, I strongly recommend that you or we can get the peace end of the solution. That's what I want to understand, what I want to encourage you.
When you talk about Noble Eightfold Path, I remember the Sandaka Sutta of Majjhima Nikaya, where the Buddha talks about what is a true religion. And he said that, in fact, religions who have elements of the Noble Eightfold Path are good religions. So what you've seen among the other religions, have you seen elements of these of this Noble Eightfold Path in their teachings?
I'm not a religious scholar, even I'm a Buddhist monk. I didn't learn completely all Buddhist teaching. How can I see the other faith? And I hope that the other religious teaching also can see, the kinds of good teaching about that. But the people cannot follow all things, cannot interpret the right way. That's why some religions make some mistake. It means I don't say they don't have that kinds of teachings. They must have, but maybe different interpretation. What I understand is that every religion's faith has a good core and also still to maintain their religions to be good society. That is still what I hope to understand the other religions better. As far as I know, in other religions, they are also good and also still promoting peace and harmony. But the people, the follower, might be different interpretation. That is what I understand.
I don't believe in only talking and dialogues. I believe in action. So,
that's very important.
So I'm asking you now, what do you advise us Buddhists to do, to action, that can help bring world peace and religious tolerance?
But I want to give a suggestion still on your question. Buddhism still always encourage peace. Buddha also still encourages his disciple, his follower, who believe into the Buddhism. Peace, love and kindness, sympathy, empathy, equanimity, and also tolerance. What the Buddha taught is the good and practical way, but we need to practice. We are not just so-called Buddhists, not just only put the label. We have to practice our own way. By practicing our own way, we have to talk the right way. We have to follow the true way, and also still we have to involve with the other people, cooperation, and also sympathize, and who is living in suffering way. We have to understand everyone is suffering, sabbe sata, suffering, dukkha. And also, what about we have a different suffering? We have the same solution. It should be understanding of Buddha's teachings by practicing the morality. By practicing the morality, we can get the concentration. By practicing the morality and concentration, definitely we will get fully wisdom. By getting fully wisdom, understanding, penetrate through the wisdom, we can understand the fully, noble truth. And then the final goal of Buddhism is the Nibbana. That is the super mundane level. And also the mundane level, we can solve the problem. Buddhist, non-Buddhist, whoever you are, we have to be good person. Practicing Noble Eightfold Path, we can have our society to be good now and forever.
I hear you perfectly. I hope others have heard you. I come now to the last question. You are here in Sri Lanka. You are here studying. What are you going to take back from Sri Lanka?
Now I'm studying in postgraduate Pali and Buddhist study in Kailina University. Some subjects like Buddhist philosophy of economic Buddhist perspective on education and communication, Buddhist social dimension, some sort of stuff course. And the areas are really good. We can do practically in our society. Buddhism is not just only practicing there for the next life, but actually, if we practice it only that way, like a social dimension, economic education, it's also needed in the society. But we have to know how to conduct it the way. In this university, we study the kinds of particular area. This is totally right. It's really precious. I learned so many Buddha's teachings from the book or from the traditional way, but now I learned the modern way. If we conduct that way, it's really useful and precious. It's unique teaching method, and not just only in my society. I will use locally, internationally, and also all over the world. If they have here to listen from Buddhist perspective, I'm ready to share what I learned from this university. It's really nice. That's how I can say what I understand in this master study level of the 2017 what I learned here.
And what are your future plans?
I'm just dreaming to work, Buddhist leadership and management, and also still I want to found institutions. It can work together with the other religious leader and also to help around the world, not just only my country. Of course, I want to work with some other religious leader and also my own religious leader. We need to do so many things in my country and also to cooperate together in my society. It must be, I hope that I can have my own religion and also to have the other people. That is what I want to be in my future. That's why I am here, I am learning here, and also I'm working with the other religious organizations and also other faith leaders. That's what I'm doing right now. I would like to thank you very much, Nan, Kim, and by asking me that kind of question and also deepen down my heart. That's a great opportunity to talk to each other, to share what we believe. And also I would like to thank you, the Venerable Sir and our teacher and also the university. They give me a chance to share my belief, and also it's a good, precious opportunity to share what we believe from the Buddhist perspective to the world peace. And I would like to get more chance to share with you all people and also around the world. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable.
Thank you.
Oh, really, I think you have great potential, Venerable. Unfortunately, the time is over now. Just to summarize what I've understood from you, you've been telling us that we have to listen to others, not only see our own side. That is one very important thing I learned from you. Then secondly, the Buddha's teachings, he's taught us about sila, morality, concentration, and getting wisdom to go down, deep down into seeing and understanding the problems of the world today, so as to find solutions together with others. And in fact, from what I've deducted myself, you have been telling us one of the greatest teachings of the Buddha, it's anatta. There is no I. We are all interdependent. We need to work together for peace in this world. So, Bhante, I wish you the very, very best, because you are a young leader. You'll have many years to show us, to teach us, to show the young generation what is Buddhism, and to upkeep the image of peace. In fact, that's the best image that we've had all this time. I hope no one destroys that image of peace that Buddhism